Hello, everybody. This is the CT Sports Talent Show. My name is Christopher Saunders. I'm pleased to have on Mayara Rodriguez, who is one of the two selections for the top performance of the week for girls basketball. She plays at Innovation and had two great games this past week rather, as far as for girls basketball. And Mayara, I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me.
It's awesome to be able to kind of go over the past performances, and you had some of the better, performances over the last week. Before we get into that really quick, I just want to kind of look back at the off season and kind of the preparation into this season. How was that? Because I know every off season is typically different for many athletes.
So our off season, we were in a lot of summer leagues and fall leagues to get the team to kind of gel because there was a lot of new players. I myself was a new player to the team.
Hmm.
So it was kind of just to gel, and then we started like conditioning to, get us like in shape before the season started.
Now, when you said you're a new player, and I was told that you came over from Capital Prep, is that correct?
Yes. Yes, sir.
So going from a new school, now, did you know any of the players on Innovation before you came?
I knew one of the players because I have played AAU with her.
Okay.
Not on the same team, but we were in the same organization. Um, so I did know her,
Hmm.
but I didn't know any of the other players. So it was kind of new playing with like it was different playing with the new team.
Were you able to, as far as just yourself, because that's the only thing that was allowed, like you could play as far as going to a court with your teammates and just practice or go to the Y, whatever. Were you able to kind of get any necessary work to be able to kind of lessen the learning curve before the season or preseason began?
Um, I'm not sure I understand the question.
Okay, so what I'm saying is with your teammates that you currently are
Mhm,
with right now, Innovation,
mhm.
were you able to go, train with them, maybe go shoot some hoops with them at like that? Were you able to kind of lessen the learning curve? Does that make sense?
Yes. So a couple of the players I would go to like the park
Hmm.
or um we have the same trainer.
Hmm.
So I would train with some of the players, and then some of the other players I would go to the park with
Hmm.
and just go and get some like reps in.
Talk to me if you can, as far as the conversations that you had with your new teammates before the season began, because I know looking at it from a football perspective, so I broadcast in the NVL, and in talking with new, depending on if kids transfer or they come from a different, state or whatever, like a quarterback, right? When he's on a new team, he's trying to learn his wide receivers, the tight ends. Okay, what do you like? Do you like the high ball? Do you like the ball a little bit lower? That kind of thing. What were the conversations like from a basketball standpoint that you had with your teammates?
Um, some of the conversations were like some of my teammates feel discouraged in themselves, so I had to kind of learn that about them,
Hmm.
and then I know what it's like to feel discouraged, so I helped them through that patch, and we kind of just like gelled together. And my big, I'm always looking to get my big the ball. And I'm always looking for the other guards to score.
Hmm.
I I feel like my team is the reason I play the way I did.
So when you talk about how you play the game now, point guard, correct? Or what position do you play?
Um, the first two games I was running point,
Okay.
but I'm normally like the second guard.
Okay. So
So
being the point guard as you were the first two games, now I
mhm.
don't know if that's something that could be over the course of a full season. We'll find out. But how was that being basically like to go back to the football question I, mentioned, you were the quarterback of the offense. You were leading the team.
Mhm. um, I feel like I felt kind of out of place because I didn't want to seem like I was doing too much. I wanted to get my team involved, and um that's kind of what I did. Like I was looking for my team to score before I decided like I wanted to score, and you know
Do you think being at that position now, I know playing a position that you feel uncomfortable with, right? Like if you go from
Mhm,
center to forward, it's different, right? The
mhm.
position, obviously, the what you have to do and what your skills and tasks are much different. But being at that point guard position, do you think over the course of time you may have found yourself a potential spot to be able to continue to grow? Because looking at the numbers, seems like you did pretty good for a position that you're still learning. What says you?
So point guard isn't really like new to me. It's new to me on the school team because in like the summer leagues and the fall leagues I would be the second guard. But um last year at my school I would play point so I could get others the ball
Hmm.
and make those plays for my team to score. Um this year being put into like the guard position after in the summer, like and in the fall,
Hmm.
not playing guard was kind of like now I have to readjust myself.
Hmm.
But um I'm not it's not like it's like super new to me, but still having to readjust right before the game is a little hard.
So if you are to be at that position over the course of the season, is that something, because you mentioned when you were having conversations with your teammates prior to the year starting or the season starting,
Mhm,
you were trying to help build their confidence. Now, obviously,
mhm,
I could tell, not to say you're not confident, but it sounds like just from the tone of your voice, you're a little hesitant as far as from the point guard position about maybe getting the attention, getting the responsibility. But you could grow from that. And who
mhm.
knows what your ceiling could be even higher than what it was prior, because now you can be the two guard and you can be the primary point guard. Does that make sense?
Yes. So, um I think I can see myself growing as a guard
Hmm.
this season. If I stay in that position, I feel um I would be able to get the team my like the I'm so sorry. I would be able to get my teammates the ball a lot more.
Hmm.
As a second guard, I feel like I can get my teammates the ball, but um it's more of like I don't know how to say this. Like the point guard is to make those plays, but I also feel like I can make those plays as the second guard and not just as the primary guard.
Is there anybody that either from the college level or if you're an NBA fan, a WNBA fan, is there anybody that you pattern your game after that you watch that you just are like, I have to watch this said player because he or she is just dynamic?
Um, I watch a lot of players. I watch Caitlin Clark and Paige Beckers. I also watch Kyrie. I like the way he plays and his style of game.
Mhm.
And then I also like the way that Paige Beckers plays and the way she's able to create for herself and her team.
Mhm.
And Caitlin Clark as well. I like how she's able to create for her team and not just for herself.
It's funny because Clark I've never seen her shoot a ball that she didn't think she could make, right? She's got the green light wherever, even from the parking lot.
Mhm,
Beckers is a little different. She kind of will give the ball a little bit more. And obviously, Kyrie is kind of like a combination. I understand different. You could say NBA, WNBA, still basketball is a basketball, right? Still the
mhm.
same kind of thing. But being able to have all those players and watch them, is there anything that you've been able to add to your tool shed to be able to utilize in games?
Um, I feel like the way they play just in general, like when they're constantly like not constantly, but I know like Paige's mid range, I try to work that into the game.
Mhm.
Um Sometimes I don't have it and sometimes it's just to the basket, but I try to work her mid range into the game. Um I don't know. I just feel like I have my own style of play. I don't I like studying players and trying to take some of their game and putting it into mine, but I feel like I have a different style of play than all three of those players.
And what kind of style would that be? If you had to write a scouting report on yourself, what would that be? What would it say?
Um, I think I'm more of like a pass first player than I am scoring. I'm very like I'm very hesitant to like take the shot or to go to the basket. I'm always looking for my team and for somebody else to score before I do.
Have you ever been told that sometimes you need to be selfish? Like even your teammates are like, no, you keep the basketball, you can score, go do your thing. Have they ever said that to you?
Uh, yeah, my coaches yell at me a lot for making the extra pass,
Mhm.
for not taking the shot when I need to. I think actually against classical, my coach had yelled at me for not shooting and for passing too much. Um, and AAU too, I'm always looking to pass to my team to get the ball up the court and
Mhm.
getting yelled at to take the shot instead.
Hey, hey, the way I see it is if you're getting yelled at to shoot the ball, much better than being told don't shoot, right?
Yeah.
That's the way I would see it, at least if I was playing basketball. Again, I wasn't very good, but again, I digress. How have you been able to adjust to the shot clock? Has that been a
Um,
for you or no?
um, I feel like our my team personally is a very fast paced team and we're very like quick. So I don't think the shot clock really phases us because we're
Mhm.
so used to like moving very fast. And when we settle down, I feel like we don't play as well.
Mhm.
Like if we're moving all the time, we don't have time to think or make mistakes. And if we do make a mistake, we just get it right back. So I think my team is very good with the shot clock and good with the fast paced game.
Before I let you go, and I appreciate you coming on, and it's great to be able to have one of the top performers rather of the week on my podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk to you about kind of the last two games, right? Are you surprised with just hearing the conversations I've had with you as far as with the scoring and being a little bit hesitant, but shooting, not shooting, etc. What you've been able to do? I mean, have you been able to be like, wow, I did that. Maybe I should continue on to do that. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah. So it surprises me the second game. The first game I kind of like I told myself at the beginning of the game that I wanted to start my season off with like a bang with a good game and I wanted to get everybody involved and that's exactly what we went out and we did. We made a statement. And the second game I feel I was kind of um I was a little more nervous for the second game than the first game because there's a girl on the other team and she's a pretty decent player and my coach was like, "Oh, you need to stay on her. You need to that's your assignment for the for the game."
Mhm.
And I was kind of nervous, but as the game went on, my team was up, my team's energy was up, and that brought me up, and so I wasn't nervous anymore. I think it took like 2 minutes for my team's energy to be up, but I wasn't nervous anymore. And then, I just produced for my team. I didn't do too much, didn't do too little. I did what I needed to do. I played my role.
And hey, you guys are 2-0, going for 3-0 tomorrow.
Hopefully, yes.
Now, real quick before I let you go, now you play in the CREC conference. I gotta make sure I get that right. And
Yes.
being a part of that, and I can call him the commissioner, right? I've had John on, and he's awesome, and
Hmm.
he's a big supporter, obviously, of being able to get both the athletes and the programs out to get people to recognize them. He also told me about how much that the players give back to the communities or to the schools and whatnot. Are you a part of that innovation, doing anything for the community or within the school that you'd like to share?
Yeah, I'm a part of a student leadership meeting or not meeting, council. We promote sportsmanship and we give back to like soup soup kitchens we help out with. We go and we read books to like the little kids at the elementary schools. Um, but yeah, like that's what I'm a part of.
Well, it's good to hear that both the young, women and also young men being able to give back and seeing the bigger picture with that and also being able to do their thing on their athletic field as well. Hey, I appreciate you coming on. Congratulations on being one of the top performers rather of the week. Enjoy the rest of the season. Keep doing what you're doing and keep balling.
Thank you.
No problem. That'll wrap things up here on the CT Sports Talent Show. So until next time, stay safe, Remember, CT stands for Connecticut Talent. I'm a jury find them all. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody, and be well.